for myself, the more solitary, the more friendless, the more unsustained I am, the more I will respect myself. That was Jane Eyre from Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, and that excerpt is the reason why this novel holds such a special place in my heart, because it has so much to do with self-identity, the nature, the truth, and even the courage of being who you really are, no matter the circumstances. And Jane Eyre, in my opinion, like, she felt it felt like she was the epitome of bravery, because she came from absolutely nothing. She lost her parents when she was just a kid. Then she spent a part of her childhood living with her cruel, cold-blooded aunt, and then later was sent to a charity school where she spent most of her childhood. And I just realized that I forgot to introduce myself. So hi everyone, this is Amreen and welcome to Read a Day Club. So I read Jane Eyre back in July. Yeah, it's been a few months, and I remember that I read this book at a very slow speed because I was occupied with so many things at the time. But I mean, nonetheless, my experience of reading Jane Eyre, it felt so multi-layered, because this novel is about one too many things. But what struck me the most is how Charlotte Brontë weaved, this so effortlessly. She weaved this unbiased truth of desire and the infinite power of imagination into the narrative, especially and sometimes only Jane Eyre's narrative. And I remember reading in the introduction by Stevie Davis. Hold on. Yeah. So in the introduction, he discusses how our protagonist Jane Eyre divides her sense of self into two halves. So one part is her rational side and the other is passionate. Now this word, passionate, and even its synonyms like passion, rage, anger, fire, they're used multiple times in the novel, obviously to depict both the rational side of human nature and the troubled extreme aspects. My sister just recently read David Hume's On Suicide, and it's a collection of essays, and in her Instagram post about the book, she mentioned something about having that internal dialogue between the two halves of yourself. So one is the one that's it rationalizes and intercepts pain, and the other is burdened to feel it, something like that, I'm not sure. So yeah, there are many such recurring motifs in the novel that stand for something human in the real world, be it the inevitable occurrence of human plight, be it inequality and the injustice of patriarchy in the 19th century when this book was written, sex, marriage, more like sexuality, marriage, not sex, politics, and mental illness as well, as a matter of fact, and so much more that is a part of Jane Eyre the novel. Now, I didn't just enjoy this book because it's a classic. I mean, we all know that Jane Eyre is a classic, but my reason for loving this book so much is the whole thing, like Jane Eyre's journey, right from when she starts working as a governess in the home where she meets and eventually falls in love with Mr. Rochester. So the whole thing felt like an exploration of Jane Eyre's existence, her highly perceptive self-consciousness, and because she came from a place of loneliness and also disadvantageous social class at the time. So you get to know so much about her personal side, her her intimate side, her emotional aspects, and even her intellectual capacities, as a matter of fact. So I totally understand why Jane Eyre the novel has been compared to Shakespeare's works, especially the poetic and dramatic aspects of the novel. In fact, it also reminded me of Tolstoy's childhood, boyhood, youth. I think I have it here somewhere. Childhood, yeah, here. It's right here. Yes. And I think it was because, you know, you're with Jane Eyre throughout the novel. You're with her, you feel what she feels about faith, about the role of women, about having the courage to start all over again. I felt like Jane Eyre was as subversively fierce and unreserved as the author who created her. And this is the only Brontë novel I've read so far, and even though I knew it was a classic, I mean, I didn't start reading, I mean, I didn't get into this book with any preconceived notions whatsoever. So the storytelling and even the style of the prose, everything about it is very unpredictable. So yeah, it's a must read for sure. And honestly speaking, so much has already been said about this book, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. So yeah, it is amazing and very impressive how modern Jane Eyre feels in this day and age, and it gets a 5-star rating from me. I mean, Charlotte Brontë, just take all the 5 stars, although, you know, I don't like to rate books this way. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the short video. And also I want to thank all of you for making our bookshelf tour video on YouTube such a huge hit. I mean, we really appreciate it, all of it. You guys are subscribing, you all are messaging, you all are sharing your feedback. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful day.